In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up project folders inside of Chat GPT. It'll help you organize your chats. You can set custom memory for each of these project folders. You can do a number of things that just running an endless stream of chats cannot do. So let's take a quick look. Once you're logged into your Chat GPT account, you want to go ahead and open up the sidebar. Typically, people are using Chat GPT basically the same way they would use Google. They type in a question and expect an answer returned. And what you end up doing in that case is creating this endless stream of chats. They're on every kind of topic. It's whatever you've been talking to ChatGPT about, and it just becomes an endless stream of unorganized chats that become difficult to group, difficult to search for previous chats. You're looking for something. Hey, I remember it told me something. Where do I find that? It sure you can use a search. You got search your chats, but it'll be a whole lot easier if you organize these conversations around project folders. And the way you do that is you go down here to projects. Normally it's just all closed up like that. Just open up projects. And you can see I've got several here. So one around job hunting, one around AI for business. That was one of the classes that I was teaching. This is one I use for developing prompts. Here's one for the health products business my wife has. Here's one for her dog training business. So having project folders is extremely helpful if more than one person is going to be accessing this same account and you want to keep your conversations isolated so that you don't get crosstalk in the memory. So when you go to create a new project, what you'll want to do is click settings. By default, it's using this default memory, which means it's going to remember information discussed in all of your chats going all the way back to the beginning. However, if you're going to be talking about something specific like dog training or health products or maybe your personal finance or investing or anything like that, then you'll want to have project specific memory. So I recommend choosing that. Now, these here are just example file headers that you could name your folder. So let's say, for example, we're going to go with investing. We've chosen project specific. So now any conversation that happens within this folder about investing, it's going to remember. So go ahead and create project. Right here, you can see our folder. You can see that we're inside that folder. Now I can initiate a chat. But if I want, I can also add files related to my investment portfolio. This will help create a database of sorts inside this chat. And then if there's specific folder or files that I want the chat to look at during this conversation in that specific part of the conversation, let's say I want to share a Google Sheet for some of my investing. I could connect to my Google Sheets right here through the Google Drive. If there's maybe something that I'm looking at in one of my other accounts, well, or maybe it's real estate, for example, I can go down here and connect to maybe Zillow. Or um, if I'm not sure and I want to find an app that I want to connect to, you've got all kinds of different apps that you can explore. Here's some productivity apps. So take a look. Maybe you're going to be using TurboTax as part of your particular investing, and you want to see what the tax ramifications might be on tax refunds and how it'll impact that. You could connect that. So there's all kinds of things you can connect to enhance the output. But the main reason why you want to have these project folders is so that it'll keep the conversations centered around the specific topic. Now, there is something that you can do. If you're kind of late to the game in terms of creating project folders, you can move. Let's go back over here to, say, investing. And if you want, you can move previous conversations to your specific folders. So let's say in this one, I was asking about how do I set up Stripe, and I wanted it to walk me through step by step. So click these three, and I can move it to one of my project folders, in this case, AI for Business. There. Now that chat as you can see, has just been added to my AI for business. Logistics route planning. That was a chat that we did in one of our previous classes. Again, I want that to go under um, AI for business. So you can go through and add previous chats. I would recommend, if you haven't done it from the beginning, go ahead and start organizing your chats into these project folders to clean up your chats down below and kind of stay on top of that to keep everything organized. Plus, the more conversations that you have with inside a project, the better the memory gets.